Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So welcome back to TGC Tours Season 11. We are here entering week 44. Got 3 weeks left, including this one. So again, likelihood of qualifying before this season is over is starting to fade away. Given that this is my most live series, I suppose we'll say, because it's one that does follow a real world schedule that is driven along, and if I miss an event, like I've missed an event. So now that I've not been doing any multiplayer farming simulator societies, those were kind of my real-time events at that point. But so folks that follow this, you're getting kind of the video a day or two before, at most a week. It's probably not even close to a week because really things don't get unlocked until Sunday, and then the first round is out on Tuesday, so you're like 2 days away. But like if I play all four now, like in theory, by the event you see Friday could be done on Sunday or Monday. So it's like 4 or 5 days away from live, worst case. Again, we don't know what will happen once we finish in a couple weeks. So the last week ends August 23rd. So it's not the last week of August, but the week before that. And then, as always, they're waiting until they have enough funding to start the next season. While things I think are better than they were between season 10 and 11, we're still not, it's not like we're fully funded or something. So, don't know how long there will be a break, but obviously there will be a break for a bit. But with that said, the whole point of me saying this is the most live that I have. This week's challenging. There's, and it's challenging because of PGA Tour 2K25. If you've been following any of my rounds for the last month, maybe even a little bit longer, we're in season 2 of the Clubhouse Pass. And there is a achievement or a goal that is set that we need to be at level 100 before, it says by August 6th, but I'm trying to get there by August 5th because I don't know if it will let me use August 6th. The other thing I have in the back of my head is because the day kind of starts at 6 p.m. my time, the day before the actual date, I think I basically have about 18 hours to be certain that I don't have that, don't have a problem. So what that means is, because I'm not at level 90 yet, I don't believe. I'm waiting to cross that threshold. So I basically have 11 levels to go up in 18 hours. That's a lot of golf. So, and in the meantime, I've obviously got the NASCAR flight. I've got other things, iRacing, that doesn't make the channel, stuff like that also draw my time, and obviously real life requirements such as work and so forth, and anything else that happens. Let us see what this turns into, but basically, yeah, I'm going to be playing a lot of golf. I may just try to hammer out the 4 rounds here just to do it, but I'm going to be up front, and I know the folks that are like, well, you're playing for the wrong reasons. I get that to some degree, but I really want that 1000 VC. So that's my motivator. If it's foolish, it's foolish, but that's the motivator. I just really want to have that VC in the bank so that if I need to buy Evo tools or whatever I may need it for, that I'm not looking back and saying, gee, if I had only worked a little harder a couple days earlier, I would have had it, because it's not like I'm at level 50 and I'm trying to do something insane. But this weekend, just life things happened, and I didn't play nearly as much as I was hoping I could on the weekend. I was really hoping I'd be sitting around level 95 when I hit today, and that I kind of, somewhat coast in. It would still take some work, but in any event, let's jump in here. Long enough introduction on where things are. So let's jump into what you normally want to know, what happened last week. There were 209, so we are very much kind of settled back into the qualifying pool size that we had in 2K23. So it's taken, I don't know, I guess 6 months or so to kind of get there, because I'm trying to remember if this came out in like February or March or whatever. And of course, we weren't really doing things for a bit in TGC Tours because they were just getting used to the game, making sure everything would work and be fair. And, we still should have 18 months or so where we're going to be able to proceed with this. So, another season and a half, however that'll work out. And before they come out with what probably would be PGA Tour 2K27, if they follow in their footsteps as they always do. So we're 209. I unfortunately finished like 142nd, and they do seem to have settled into about 15%-ish of the people get a card. So 13 under was the cut last week. So again, kind of where it had been for the majority of the weeks. We did have the 1 week where it floated back to 17 under, but it's been 12, 13 under the 3 other times, I think, recently that we've done that since we've come from, I think, Te Harakoa, or at first sure the old course at St. Andrews Links. Not really close. Not really what's been happening. And if you're watching my career series with the settings I have now, I'm definitely having to compete to try to do well. I'm no longer just winning every event like I did for 2 or 3 weeks when I had things set a little easier, bump things up there. In the Players' Championship right now, still have not played the 4th round. The 3rd round will appear after this one. That one has been done and has been uploaded and is sitting there ready to go live on Saturday morning. But I don't know how I'm going to end in that. But definitely, I think, hopefully, folks are enjoying that because it's pretty competitive. I'm no longer running away with things relatively easily, which I would think would be less exciting to watch. Here, I'm clearly not running away with anything. I'm just trying to avoid falling off the cliff. I do see a little bit of progression every block of time. It probably comes in spurts and kind of levels where, maybe for a month or two I'm kind of at a plateau, and then suddenly it's like, ooh, I've kind of moved up a little bit, and I'm now averaging a few strokes less than I did before and staying pretty consistent with that. So that's kind of where I feel I've settled in, is like, again, where I was in 2K23, where I was floating around for an event, just trying to stay in single digits over. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm at least close, as opposed to being 25, 30 over, which is where I was for quite a long time. So let's jump into the John Moxon West Canaan Classic. That is a long name, at Sorrento Bluff. So course details, we've got 3 tee boxes. Black is likely going to be the most likely one, and then we see fairways are very firm, greens are firm. It is nice to see that they're not both the same like they had been for a lot of courses. So either course creators have said, hey, I want to change some of that, whatever it is, or they're just finding more courses that have that variability. And then it's medium fast instead of being really insane. So hopefully all that we'll be able to handle. All right, black tees, first pins, and then medium wind. And they did adjust from default. We are firm instead of very firm. So firm, and fast instead of moderately fast. All right, so again, not seeing this course. Looks like it's not really wet, which is good. Doesn't have the crazy amount of bunkers that we did last time either. That's also good. Ooh. Significantly closed. Alright, well, we're out of the bunker, I guess. Think that's good. We'll see. I don't know how well this will get out of here. But the swing bias is awful. It's always challenging to me to do that, but again, we got over 200, which I don't think I would have done with the 4-iron, so I'll say that was a good call. We're only losing about 8-9. We are going up in the air as well. But I'm going to see if we can make this work. Alright. A little better. Is it going to roll me off? Yep. Looked like maybe I had crossed the ridge, but I had not. So, not a terrific start. We'll go 14 here. And off to the right as normal. Always a bit of a challenge there. And now we're going to see if we can stay on par. Looking okay. All right. I mean, I just do feel more comfortable, more confident of how I've been playing in the last 3-4 weeks than I have been for sure. So that has been helpful. Been playing whatever society events I can. I did get in, play the ranked tour this last week, but there won't be another one before the time. So like all the 4 rounds of those are already banked for me in going with the clubhouse pass. So that's why I'm just trying to get, as far as I can, which is why, like I said, I think I need to play rounds. So there's not a reason to not play these 4 unless I'm suddenly... I mean, I will say, before I get into it, and in case, hey, the unbelievable happens, if I suddenly have like 2 incredible rounds, and I'm 5-10 under at the end of those, I may then say, you know what, just to not screw this up, because I know playing a lot of rounds is going to tire me out, and I'm just going to get sloppy as it goes. I can usually play 4 without any problem, but when I'm hitting 5, 6, and again, to get 10, I'm probably looking at 12 to 13 rounds of golf that I'm going to need to play. Basically today, maybe tomorrow a little bit. That's a lot. So, we'll see. All right, we're downhill, but we are also getting blown back. But I'm gonna do that. I think that will work nicely. All right, 4 perfects on the second hole. We'll take it. Ooh, short. I was worried. I was obviously right to be worried. All right, and it's got the crazy direction. Too far. Too far to the right. I mean, transition was okay. It was way up in the air, but sometimes those picks come out solidly. It's a long way. Oof. Close. Close, but it's hard when I'm always relying on those long putts. Like, oh my goodness. What? That like flew right over the edge. I'm not thrilled with that at all. So close. Wow, I really... I don't know. I mean, it didn't go in. There's nothing to speculate. It didn't go in. But, yeah, wow. All right, well, that suddenly takes an even round to 3 over. Terrible. I mean, it'll make it easier to play the 4 if I just really am terrible the first round or 2. Because then it's like, well, I'm really not in any danger of screwing anything up. All right. We're up in the air, because the pitches do tend to roll a bit. I only got 97. I was a little careful, but as I said, they tend to roll a bit. So even with that, it was lengthy. And man, I hate hitting this way because it's downhill and then it's just more downhill. So it just makes you feel like you need to be super conservative because you just do not want to cross the threshold, not over enough. Just stop, please, though. Don't get caught. Don't. All right. All right, let's see. Not too bad. Come on. Can't get the forward. Ooh. Started to turn a lot right at the end because it was getting really slow. And obviously, the slower it goes, the more it bites into the slope. So there's always that, you know, with downhill, it's going to break more. All right. We're going to lose about 8. We're going to gain about 8. So I would say this is what I want. A little more closed than I would have liked. So just firmly in the bunker. All right, let's see. I'm thinking that's too much, but we'll see. We'll go with it. Okay, we're out. All right, it's not too much. And again, it does take some off from being in the sand. I understand that because I've had some comments about like I'm just basically assuming I'm going to get the full distance. But the reality is sometimes I do. And I'm sure some of it is because it's laying downhill in the bunker. So it's just adding that distance like it does on a downhill lie or anything like that. All right, we got a par 4, but it's 510 yards. So getting a good shot, and can't do better than 4 perfects, right? Is important. So we've done what we can there. We are downhill, so I'm going to back this off. The lie's going to kick us back. The wind's going to then counter that. Didn't like the sound. 6%. We might not have enough distance. Oh boy, I think we'll be on just because of the bounce. Well, can't see it. Oh, I see. We're not on. Okay, I didn't realize if I was on, I could see it then, but I'm like, how close am I? All right, straighter on, but a little weak on the power, which is good because, wow, that flew. And again, it was a downhill lie, all that jazz. All right. So other than the triple bogey right now, it's par golf, which is fine. It's better than the alternative, but yeah, I wish I hadn't fallen apart on that hole. Just seems to be my my formula is I do tend to have like one hole that kills me. My concern is the holes, like I tended for a long time to have that one hole that kills me, like in the last 5 holes of the round. When I have it on the second hole, you know, there's just some nerves of, okay, is more coming? All right, we're up. Might be too much. I don't know. Do I want to go back? We'll choke it. 9 degrees closed. A little more than I would have liked, but okay. Choke is good, because otherwise I would have been over that ridge. It looks like it could have just rolled me right off the green. So I'll take that. Downhill. So I'm just trying to be careful. It's looking hopeful. All right. Where I don't have the confidence is I'm still not comfortable like when it looks online. that it's really going to stay that way. I've definitely started to see the trend of like, a lot of times it'll break in kind of the first third and then it'll settle into a straight line. So, you know, just trying to understand how that impacts the reeds a bit. 9 yards, it's a 5-iron, so no. I'm going to do that. May not be far enough, but I'm going to try this way. We'll see if I come up short. No, I'm going to where I've got a little bit more green to grab. Alright, not bad. Really nice roll. It's going toward the hole. That's always nice. Alright. Now this is... it's uphill, so it might not break as much. Ah, it did not. Did not hit it hard, I promise. Wow. Alright, now we're downhill a bit. Alright, well, we got the par, but I need some birdies. I mean, I got one, but I need more. Need more. So, looking at 387 downhill, but cross breeze. Ugh. Thought I was going on the closed side, and so I adjusted, but clearly I was wrong, and then I adjusted the wrong way. Alright, we're up in the air. We're going to do this because it is out of the sand. I'm going to do a choked approach here. It should be alright. Just don't want to hit the lip of the bunker. That would be a bad thing. Well, we're on, but we're short, so... Bad judgment. So, I watched... we happened to be out at a restaurant yesterday that they happened to have LPGA and some PGA stuff on, so I was just kind of seeing it as I was eating. And the removal that you just saw of the pin, I don't know that I'm ever going to leave the pin in if I can. I mean, I normally don't, but a guy hit the ball and like it literally, the ball barely fits between the pin and the edge of the cup. Like it vibrated as it went into the hole. I'm like, so all you're doing is usually bouncing it off. I mean, I get if you're going too fast, it's a good way to slow you down. But yeah, I'm like, the pin is terrible having it in the cup. Speaking of terrible, because I got to get up the hill, but then it's down. All right, I think we did okay. Again, probably as good as I could when you're going over a ridge like that. I'll take that. Would be good here. All right, solid. At least the course is, you know, I'd say behaving a bit more like I would expect. I've struggled with some courses where the brakes just seem to somehow not work the way I'm used to. And those get really hard to feel comfortable on and have any kind of confidence. You're always like, I hope, and obviously, you know, that's introducing some things into what's happening. Got a little bit of cross breeze, but it's more back breeze. Man, struggling with the rhythm. Ooh, at least, all right, well, we're out of there, which is good. Let's see. I go with the 31. Oh my goodness, wow. I didn't see if my power was weak, but yeah, that was not great. That was not great for sure. So, again, 87%. So, a little weak sauce there. Alright. Misread that. We're going for the double bogey now. Oh no. I mean, I know I had not a great swing. Second triple bogey. So remember when I said, yeah, when you have a bad hole early on, it makes you wonder. Oof. All right. So now it's kind of gotten ugly. Like, this is not a good round. All right, I thought I had kind of settled on something that got me more consistent on the rhythm. Clearly, I'm not really, I guess, doing it. So maybe I need to try to do that a little bit more. All right, we're up and over. All right, well, the rhythm was better there, so I kind of intentionally focused on the way I was getting that to work. All right, so it is out of pretty crappy lie here, but if there's anything I've discovered, it's that things do not necessarily matter that much on the flop, and obviously I had a good result there, but just for a par because of a bit of sloppiness here and there. All right, 130 yards. Blowing over. This is a postage stamp, of course. Ah. Closed. I think it's going to be too far to the left. Let's see. We're going to get lucky? All right. It did stick. I was worried it was going to go too far over. Ah, so close. It hit the edge, but... All right, hey, I got my weekly greens in regulation. That's awesome. Oh, I wish that had fallen. That would have been so nice. So yeah, I had to step away for an hour and a half. So, we'll see if my gameplay becomes substantially different. It's like I could have gotten 3 rounds done in that time, but yeah, it just didn't happen. Like I said, there's life, you know. It's kind of important to have income and all that, so doing the job is important. Well, that was pretty sweet. Please let me get this. Awesome. Eagle. Love it when we can reach a par 4 with 1. All right. Again, a step at a time. Step at a time. Ooh, awful, awful, awful. Ah, so close. Well, we're in the rough. Don't know if this is a good idea or not. Oh boy. The push was the problem. Holy moly. Well, 180 yards. Let's see. Long flop. It's as far as I can go. I'm going to give this a try. I was hoping I could get two eagles, but just a bad kickoff. I might not even be able to get a darn birdie here. Darn it. All right. Well, it is what it is, right? Oof. All right. Well, got the par. The big one. I think that's the last par 5. I didn't take a good look at it, but I don't know that we have any more of those left. It's always good to take a par 5 and get a birdie on it, but obviously that didn't happen. All right, we're going to gain about 10 yards. We're going to move over a lot. So I'm going to call this wind. What a crazy push. Wow. The wind and that. Overall, that was not bad otherwise. Oh. On one end it was okay, but on the other, not so good. Not so good. Alright. It is 3 feet up, so I'm gonna try that. We got a little bit of a power decrease, and that worked. Alright. Gentle and easy and a par while it's breezy. Alright, well, we got a lot of behind tailwinds. This is awesome. This is where I like strong wind, because it just adds to my distance. Look at that, almost 350. Now makes it, let's see, we're going to gain about 7. We're going to gain some crazy wind. Ooh. Alright, we're going to go up a bit here. I don't know that I want to go the whole way, especially since it's a downhill lie. But we got 98. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Come on back. Beautiful. I like you a lot. Oh, I'll like you even more if you fall in. Darn. Oh, that would have been... That would have been like 2 eagles. That would have been like awesome, but... Alright. So, for those who watch for a long time, that's likely about as excited as you're going to get me. But, so hope you enjoyed it. Sometimes I might really... I mean, I unfortunately get excited in the other direction where I get frustrated and start, like, really getting upset about that, but... Alright, let's see. Okay. Rhythm is perfect. That again, is kind of my bigger issue. Alright, yeah, a little hard. Little hard, but let's see. We're going to get a little bit of rollback. It's got some power to it, so this... actually a lot more than I thought, and actually puts me in a decent spot, because that's about where I bounced. So, alright, we got a downhill, so we want to be gentle. Come on back, come on back. Yes! Alright, 2 holes that you got excitement on. Alright, now back to 1 over. Like, this feels really cool. 600 yards. That not so cool. We're heading... the bunker's in play, I think. Oh, we're over, though. Thought it was gonna stop. But no. No, 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 no. Alright, let's do an 8-iron. I don't think I can do much more than that. It's so tricky when the swing bias shifts like that. Alright, what are we at? 135. We're right about there. And again, 600 yards. Like, I'm not going to drive that in 2 in most cases anyway. Alright. Let's see if we can capitalize on this. Because if I can get close, this can become a birdie, which would be beautiful. Alright, we're on, but we're on a hill. We might roll off. There's just a lot of ifs on this one. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Alright, so yeah, we're probably not gonna catch anything here. Gotta get up the hill. Come on! Crossover. It did. Oh, it did, but it just would not finish going down the hill. Alright. Nervousness. That was definitely one of those that kind of broke, and then it was just, yeah, I'll just roll toward the hole. So it worked out. So we maintained, at least. I would have loved to have gotten myself to even. A little more left than I would like. Definitely that's not helping. All right, so that is taking me up 14 over. We're gonna gain 8, so we're gonna go back here. We're gonna try this. Not bad, not bad. Power's weak though. Yeah, it's not gonna get where I need it to. Alright, should be able to do a regular flop here. Yeah, this should work out. I like it. We're at the flag. A little further than I wanted. Oh, it's rolling back a little. Not much, though. I think it's done. No, it's still crawling, but it finished. Ooh. Crazy downhill here. Wow. Put me in, put me in, put me in, coach! Ooh. Unbelievable. Alright. 2 over. Can't say I didn't work on that round. So, coming back from 5 over to finish 2 over. Couldn't hang on to finish 1 over or find a way to get myself back to even. But, not bad. I don't know, was I better after the break? Maybe. But here we go. Tier 90. We should get something exciting, right? Next tier will definitely go with the next round, but then I think we'll be stuck for 1 round where we won't advance. Really? All we got was a bunch... That can't be right. There's got to be something better that I'm not seeing here. No, it's just a bunch of... I mean, yeah, it's all the fittings, but... I wanted something more for 90, some fancy outfit. 95, I know, gets us the last special long flop thing, so we do have that. But like I said, it's hard to beat 1,000 VC, and at the rate we're going, maybe by the time I get enough rounds to get myself to 100, because we're usually making like 72, and then sometimes we'll get some bonuses for extra things and whatever. By the time I get the extra 1,000, I might get myself over 20,000 VC in the bank. That would be pretty nice. So, as always, if you've enjoyed this but haven't dropped a like or subscribe, please consider that, and I will see you next time.